Hi, this is Dave Lorenzo with RainmakerLawyer.com, and today we're going to talk about the actual process of closing a deal. How you actually complete the sale, if you will, and I know sale is a dirty word for attorneys, but how you actually complete the sale when a client comes to you and they talk to you about their problem. How do you get them to sign on the dotted line, and how do you get them to commit to working with you, and most importantly to paying the fee that you want and then actually sliding the money across the table and paying the bill. These are all things that I hear from lawyers all the time that are big challenges for them. So today I'm going to walk you through a process that I've used with dozens and dozens of lawyers that really works to get them to close the deal and get the client to pay and the client really on board in a good way. Alright, first and foremost, a client calls your office and they may have a need for your services, but you're not quite sure yet. They have to be qualified. This should never ever be done by the attorney, him or herself. It should never ever be done by the attorney in person. What you want is you want to have a receptionist or a paralegal or somebody else qualify the client for you. And you should actually have a minimum of 3 to 5 questions written down that you're going to ask the client so that you know that they're a qualified client. Now, your assistant should ask the client these 5 questions in this particular order. First and foremost, you should have your assistant find out if they really have a problem that you can solve. Next, you should have your assistant find out if they are the decision maker. I see this all the time when it comes especially to criminal defense. The person who is charged with the crime, or the person who was arrested, or the person who's the subject of the investigation is not the person who's calling, it's a family member. That really doesn't do us any good. We need the person who needs the help to be on the phone. So the second question needs to uncover if this person is truly a decision maker. And then the third question has to uncover whether they have enough pain to fork over the money to hire you. They have to be able to afford to work with you. Some people just can't afford it, and there are other lawyers who would be more suitable for their needs. So those are the 3 big things we have to uncover during this initial, what I call a screening interview, qualifying interview, if you will. So your assistant should ask those questions. It should seem conversational, not like an interrogation, and you should have your assistant fill out a very specific focused form. In my office, we call them a hot sheet. I have a ton of these. When people call in, we have the person who answers the phone fill out this form for us, and then that form goes to the attorney, and the assistant, if the person is qualified, makes an appointment. When the prospective client comes in, you, the attorney, must then have your own set of questions that you have to ask to understand how much work is involved in this matter, at least at the start, and to understand what you can do for them in order to solve their problem. Very important. Don't fly by the seat of your pants. Have a checklist that you follow. Eventually the checklist will become internalized and you won't need to look at it anymore, but you should always have a checklist that you follow when you're talking to a prospective client to make sure you can help them. If you understand, if the client understands and you understand that you can help this person, the next step is to move toward your onboarding process. What you're going to do is you're then going to quote your fee, and you're going to talk about the guidelines that the client is expected to follow when they work with you. Then you're going to hand them a printed copy of those guidelines. These should have everything in there from what you need from what you need for the client in order to participate in their own matter, all the way through to days and times when you accept client phone calls, acceptable behavior, what will be expected if there is a deposition or a hearing. All of that should be included in your onboarding material. So those steps walk you through the process, and what that does is, does 2 things. It gives you a tremendous amount of confidence to close this deal because you know exactly what's involved and each step in the process. Very important. Second thing it does is it gives your client or prospective client a lot of confidence because they know you know what you're doing. They know you've done this before. It's incredibly comforting for the client to see this. I guarantee if you put this process in place, you'll sign up more clients and you'll be happier doing it because everybody knows what to expect. It's all laid out there on the table. My name is Dave Lorenzo, and if you'd like more great law firm marketing tips just like these, you can find me at RainmakerLawyer.com. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic day.